Welcome to the second video of the four-part series about how you can master the ACT writing section, which is by understanding the ACT writing rubric and then approaching your ACT writing essays with that understanding. In the first video, we discussed how you can get a 6 out of 6 score on the first category of the ACT writing rubric, which is ideas and analysis. In that video, the main points were that you need to consider multiple perspectives on the issue, you need to provide an argument with an extent of distinctiveness, and establish an insightful context. In this video, we're going to discuss the second category of the ACT writing rubric, which is all about your development and how you support your argument. While this category of the rubric is weighted just as much as the other three on the rubric, it is probably the most important category because how you support your argument is going to have a huge impact on how the reader will perceive your message and your opinion, which is all your essay is about. You want to convince the reader that you are correct.
So let's get started. There are three main things you have to do to get a 6 out of 6 on the development and support category of the ACT writing rubric. The first is that in your essay, you develop your ideas with effective support that broadens the context of the essay. This is pretty simple, and it basically means that after you make your claim, you need to develop your ideas, which usually comes in the form of 2 to 4 diverse reasons as to why your claim is right. This is what the effective support is. These two things together should broaden the context of your essay. In the last video, we touched on what context refers to, and in this category of the rubric, it kind of means the same thing. Essentially, the context of your essay refers to all of the ideas, implications, arguments, and outside factors that you take into consideration within the essay. It's essentially the spectrum of considerations your essay has. When you make claims and support them with distinct reasons as to why your claim is right, you're broadening the context by simply adding more things to your essay that support your claim. So a broader context takes into consideration a more diverse array of arguments and factors affecting the claim, and thus makes a more complete essay and a complete argument.
So let's explain how you can do all of this in an example. Let's just say that the essay is about dress codes and that you're arguing against dress codes. In order to develop your ideas with effective support, you want to have at least 2 to 4 reasons supporting why you believe that dress codes are inappropriate. You also want to discuss why your reasons for believing so are relevant, and those 2 to 4 points should broaden the context of your essay by taking into account different implications and factors and consequences of your opinion. So some examples of some diverse considerations you could take into account in your essay are the financial implications of dress codes, the positives and negatives of that. You could talk about how dress codes may affect student image and how students may feel about dress codes. And you might even want to include a counter argument. You can see that each of the things that I just listed take into account a totally different part of the issue, a totally different idea or aspect of the issue. And the more different aspects, more diverse aspects you take into account, the broader your context is.
The second thing you have to do to get a 6 out of 6 on this category of the rubric is provide an argument that uses effective reasoning to show why the argument is significant. Effective reasoning can best be explained by something we touched on in the last video. To lead the audience down a path or a line of reasoning that ends with them either believing that your argument is right or at least taking it into consideration. You have to present facts in a logical and appealing manner that will make your audience want to believe you. Let's go back to the dress codes essay example. In supporting your claim, you can use effective reasoning by laying down all of the positives and negatives of dress codes, state what specific things make the negatives outweigh the positives, and then draw a conclusion. It's really simple stuff, but the way in which you deliver the reasoning process in writing is what will decide how effective your reasoning is. The best way to go about it is put yourself in the audience's shoes and ask yourself what the writer would have to say in order to sway your opinion one way or another. It's a creative challenge and you have to appeal to logic and emotion, and it's different for every essay prompt, but the more you practice it, the easier it will get. The last criteria of this category is that you must show a level of qualification to bolster your argument, support, and analysis. The best way to show qualifications is to provide personal experience or a story about something or someone close to you that has relevance to the argument. In the case of the dress codes essay, you could provide your own personal experience with dress codes and draw a conclusion based on something good or bad that you felt or that happened to you because of the dress codes you experienced. That experience can be used to qualify you as somewhat of an expert, while also giving your essay a unique touch. That's really all it takes, and again, this process becomes much easier when you practice it repetitively. And your qualification doesn't have to be personal experience, it could be a story about someone else or something else that happened in the real world that you can relate to your argument. As long as you present that anecdote in a way that shows relevance to the argument, you will present yourself as qualified.
So that's all we'll discuss for the second category of the ACT writing rubric. It was a bit of a complicated discussion, but the main things that you should take away from this video is that your main supporting arguments should be diverse, should be presented with logical reasoning that you actually believe is truly convincing, and they should provide a bit of expertise and qualification mainly through your personal experience or things that you have observed from people that are close to you or even just in the real world, and that you can provide an insightful comment on. For more ACT prep content, be sure to check out our YouTube and our Instagram. And we also have a website where we have a full ACT prep program called the 3 Steps to Master the ACT, which comes with a 100% guarantee. And there's a ton of information in that course that you can use to directly benefit from in your exams. The links to that are in the description below. Other than that, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.